Guess what? Do you know...
Have we got a theme?
Yeah.
What's our theme this week? Be on the same page.
Be on the same page and how much is enough. And
how much is enough?
On the same page, how much is enough, and people's interpretation of things. And I'm going to start the ball rolling right away now.
All right. So we're not doing any questions?
No, not straight away. Because on the 14th of February, which was Tuesday, it was Valentine's Day, wasn't it? And
I so know what he's going to say
now. No.
Go on.
Please, zip it. So it's the expectation and it's the interpretation, isn't it? So Megan gave me a card, it was a cracker, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I gave Megan a card, and when I gave it to her face dropped. Fair dinkum. And her face dropped because on the front of it said, All A. And there it is there, and it's a woman on the beach. And Megan went straight away. No.
As a woman.
No. Stop. Megan went straight away into defence mode, and when I gave it to her, her face dropped. It was like a fractured glass.
Yeah, and a sensitive issue.
It's a card, all right? Because Megan thought that I was saying that her legs looked like those legs on the front. It wasn't at all. Because when you open the card up, it reminded me of taco night because...
Yeah, but I got that.
No, your face was still shattered. Your face was still shattered even when you were looking at that because your mind was thinking back to the front page.
Can I hear back from the other women how they would have felt too?
Hang on. So...
Okay, well you get the message. What are you going to do, the Mexican dance?
For Valentine's Day, I thought I'd treat you to a giant margarita.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I thought that would be fantastic, but Megan's interpretation of it wasn't quite like my interpretation of it because I don't think of you as being this big pork chop on the front page. You do.
And then, as it turned out, so just before we went to bed, I said, well, I'm not sure about that Valentine's Day card because he did give me another gross one years ago. And you did.
Yeah, I remember what it was.
Okay, we don't need to. No, we won't even go there. But anyway, he gave me this one, and it was when I don't think we were even married. And I remember getting that card, and my other friend Tiffany received from her boyfriend a box of Daryl Lee chocolates, and she was like shattered that she got this tragic box.
Mine was better. If you want to know what it was, you'll just have to ask us. It was a cracker.
Anyway, so I remember her and I both sitting on the couch discussing our Valentine's. Anyway, apart from that, the truth of the matter about this card, because this has now gone on far too long, is that Zoe chose the card when we were in America because she thought it was funny with the margarita music. And neither of them considered the fact that I would consider the fat legs on the front. Because if I'm going to complain about anything,
so what were we going to talk about?
It would be my thighs.
What was the theme today? How much is enough?
How much is enough?
How much is enough?
That's right.
People don't get that, I think, sometimes, because they keep going for more, and then by the time they hit their more, they've actually missed out on a whole lot of other things that they wish they'd had.
I think how we came about this was Paul and I were just chatting today, and I said, the thing when I was talking about the kids, and I said, when the kids get married one day, I said, all you really want them to have is for them to be with someone that they really love. You just want them to choose someone they really love.
So how does the love grow together? You've got to be on the same page. And
yes.
If you're not on the same page, you grow apart. And if you grow apart, it's destructive. And so I said to me, and then Megan said, so you've got to marry someone that's got some energy and not, well, you didn't say that.
I said
get up and go, is what you said.
Get
up. Oomph, get up and go.
Because I would need someone.
And then I said, no, that's not exactly right. Because if you were a personality that just liked to cruise and you were laid back, and you didn't want get up and go, if you married someone that had get up and go, and you were the laid back style person, you're heading for a collision course because you're not on the same page. And so what we find...
I thought that was interesting.
Yes, because
not everyone
that's your interpretation.
That's
right. Yeah. That's your interpretation. But someone might be an artist. They might like to sit back, relax, paint canvases, some days they get up late, some days they get up early. Their life's not punctuated with business. They might paint till 3 a.m, and you know what? That's fantastic for them. But that might be totally different to someone who's looking for someone with oomph, and they're going to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning and start running a mile every day.
So that's interesting, isn't it?
So because you know what, we've looked at other friends of ours, and then they've done enormously successful, and then all of a sudden split. So it was
that happens everywhere in every sorts of relationship.
Nothing to do with the money.
No.
So much money you could light cigars with $100 bills. So, money doesn't bring the happiness because their whole life was on a collision course.
It really does not.
So, it's really prioritising. You know what the biggest thing I can say to you is that when you've got little kids and the kids are like 2, 3, 4, whatever, and they're screaming and like 4 o'clock in the evening is hell hour and bath time and bed and all that sort of stuff, you wonder sometimes if you've got your hands full when it's ever going to end. And you know what Megan and I say these days, we wish we could have them back as little ones for a day. It's gone. Max is 19, Zoe's 17. They're not littlies anymore. It goes so quickly. And if you forego that time with them when you think it's all too hard, it's gone.
Yeah.
So your life changes.
I'm going to check this is recording. You talk to them for a second.
So it is interesting where we're seeing
it's recording, so now you don't have... Hang on. He's a time bomb today, everyone, so I'm cutting him short.
Well, there you go.
Okay. Scott said, happy Saturday, Megan. He didn't say Paul, he just said Megan.
That's all right.
I've got a question for you. In this day and age, how lucky we are to be Australian. Yeah, we are. I love being an Aussie. Do you think it's time everyone got over and allowed same-sex marriage? Yes, of course I do.
Yeah.
Really and truly.
Here's one for you. Here's my take on it.
Well, you're looking at me as if you're going to say something really
I'll say
controversial.
You see, over the last many hundreds of years, this might be a bit out there, but it's the church and the Bible and the teaching in schools that said homosexuality is not good, lesbian or same-sex relationships, and so everyone's been taught forever that is not good. Okay, and so therefore the people who are in same-sex relationships have this background lingering thing that the Bible says and they've been taught at school, and that's not the expectation of society. And you know what? That's wrong. Same-sex marriage, no drama.
Yeah, I agree. It is funny how religion does that. I get it, but we're going to have some people out there who are quite religious, because I know there are.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
But you see,
I agree. We're all the same. It doesn't matter if someone loves a man or a woman.
The Bible can't tell me that I'm going to eat pea soup and I hate pea soup and I want tomato soup. It's true. It's true. It's just a parable of how to live your life, and things maybe things haven't changed. Maybe things haven't changed. It's been around forever.
It's a little bit like, to me, the whole Martin Luther King thing, where he got people of black people and white people and people of all different races to get together and
integrate.
Just be And so it's a little bit like that. It's just taking time. I think in another 20 years it'll be a lot more relaxed, don't you? I really do.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Sally Ann. I notice sometimes I push myself when doing exercise. At times I get to a point and think it's hard and I can't do it, and then I picture my kids and a great body. Yeah, and she says she'll have to push herself a bit further.
Yes, you will.
What are some of the things when you get tough with gym or your everyday life to get you through? Okay, can I just tell her what I did today? Today, everybody, I did a really hard spin class, right? So I'm in the middle of the spin class and I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm not going to go for my personal best with my 1 mile run after this, because I'm working so hard now, I'm not going to have the energy. So I finished the class, felt great, got onto the treadmill. Before I turned it on, I thought, I'm feeling pretty good, because I was really warmed up, and I thought, I'm going to go for my personal best. So I turned it on.
You look pretty good.
And I did it. I did my 1 mile in 8 minutes and 4 seconds. My other prior PB was 8:07. So now I want to get it sub 8. But at the end of the 1 minute, I was running so fast. I had it on 17 kilometres an hour just so I could beat my record.
So Sally,
my legs are flying.
Sally Ann's got to focus on the end result. And what I know is some days I call them maintenance days. So if I'm going to swim in a 50-metre pool, I haven't got the energy like I have other days, or I haven't got, so I call that a maintenance day, and I just plod along,
Here's Max.
and I say, better, here he is.
I have to say something, Sally Ann, because I just had this
Duck
in my
down, put
room.
your head down here because you won't be in the picture of those.
Okay, I did a thing on Thursday.
Come your head in closer.
Thursday afternoon, I did what was called like a boot camp. It was sort of in between a CrossFit and cross training. I basically stuffed my whole lower body, like my glutes, my hamstrings, my quads.
Have you?
I haven't. I can't move, and I did a spin class yesterday to try and get it out, but I think that's made it worse. So I think what Mum and Dad are trying to say is, have a maintenance day. don't push yourself too hard. I have the same problem. I go and go and go until my body can't do anymore.
Maxie, do you think that perhaps you overdid it because you hadn't done this class ever before in your whole life,
Yes,
and you
I
didn't
do.
warm into it?
I do think I did, yeah. But you do.
The camera cut off. So we got up to Maxie giving Sally Ann advice.
Yeah, we did.
And it's really the end. You got it. Some days are maintenance days, and some days you go hard days. But think about 3 months, 6 months. Think about where you want to get to. It's
Yeah.
the journey of where you get to because you have good and bad days. It's
Yep.
just like anything.
Yeah, Max just did it too hard.
So the next question is about the
Hang on,
coloured flowers.
because even though what I was saying was some people have written to me and said I can run more than a mile a day because I'm fit. I am too, and I could do more than a mile a day as well. But to keep from injury and all that sort of stuff, just a mile a day, and it's also achievable.
Okay, go.
Alex, Max's girlfriend. We did answer this question with Alex, but
And
he's
the
now
camera
gone
cut off and
to
he's
get
gone.
a haircut. Yeah, so my favourite flowers. So now you're going to lose that whole bit where I quizzed them and said, what is my favourite
Well, I know
flower?
what your favourite
Go
flower
on,
is.
tell them.
It's roses, coloured roses from the garden would be number one.
Yes, that's true.
I would say that gerberas would be number two.
No.
What's number two?
What did I say before?
I forget. Having a senior moment.
Sunflowers.
Sunflowers, then gerberas.
Yeah.
So what's the next
But
question?
gerberas were a lot more in a few years ago, weren't they?
No, they just don't buy them as much. Away you go. What's the next question?
Chelsea said, we'd talk back to gay marriage just quickly. She just said that she's gay and that a lot of her friends she doesn't know anyone who cares that she's gay. And so she's just going, yeah, gay marriage. And I'm going, yeah, back.
So, you know what, if they approve it all, then...
She's saying if you let the whole country vote that it would probably be it would definitely be the majority, but she's sort of saying probably everyone would say yes.
Be interesting.
There'd be those
I
odd
don't
few that
know
wouldn't.
I don't know the answer to that.
There's always the odd few who go against anything
Yeah,
you say.
well-
There's people who don't like Paul and my positive videos, so that's the way it is. You know?
Really? Can you believe that?
You know what? I don't
Here
even
we are.
care. I don't know why they watch them if they don't like them.
Here
If you're
we
one
are.
of those people who watches and then goes, "Oh my god, did you see her and Paul doing that?"
Do you know?
Then just turn off now because
Yeah.
really and truly, I don't see the point in you watching them if you're only going to make fun or be a cow afterwards.
You know what I'd say to them? Go and have a margarita.
Yes, you know what? I can't. But isn't it funny? Like seriously, if I didn't like someone's videos, there's no way I would sit there and watch it.
Next question.
Okay.
Sticks and stones.
Adam said, Megan, is it fair for a TAFE to say you are too disabled for a course? Adam, I don't know what you're talking about, so I can't really answer the question.
Is it fair for a TAFE college?
To say you are too disabled for a course, I don't know if you're
Yeah.
talking that you have a disability, what it is, blah, blah. I can't answer because I don't
More
know.
information, Adam.
There may be a reason, maybe, I don't know.
Don't
I don't
know.
know. Tracy, she said she's so happy to see us back doing Saturday videos. Tracy in Canada, who is sticking to my fitness challenge, and I'm so proud of her. And she's lost, 9.6 up until last week, so I can't wait to hear this week. A while ago, you posted a photo of your sister. I'd love to hear about your sisters. Oh, they are positive, creative, and fabulous of you. Of course they are. I've got a sister who's 10 years older than me. Her name's Bronwyn. And I've got a sister, Susie, who's 7 years older than me. So the reason you don't see them so much in things is because we don't catch up a lot because I guess...
Well, they live geographically,
Well,
an hour
Susan,
away
yeah.
and an hour away.
Yeah.
Really.
And the fact of the matter is, like when you grow up and you're 10 and 7 years younger, I kind of grew up a little bit more like an only child.
Yeah, well, you were playing with plasticine while they were
Yeah.
out dating.
Yes, so they probably know each other. I mean, of course I know them both, but I would say they know each other better. Would you agree? But they're great. Bronwyn's a teacher and she's super smart. She was dux at the school, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. So she's a teacher and studying a whole new thing at the moment, doing a whole other course. And Susie was a librarian and she's a mother of 4. Bronwyn's also a mother of 4. I don't know how they do that part.
Superstars.
Wonder Woman. So that's them. I don't think I could get them on a video.
Next question.
Do you?
Next question.
Adam.
No, it was
I don't know. He's put
Tracy.
some
Next.
link to something, so I can't tell what that is. Scott. He's just talking about gay marriage again. Emily Arundel.
Ha
She's got no problems with gay marriage. Da da da. She wants to talking about kids with gay couples with kids. Well, I don't care about that either. I mean, I think that would have problems of its own. But you know what? If kids are growing up with people who love them, I think that's the main thing because there's heterosexual marriages that are a disaster. And the kids are abused and all that. So as long as the two people love them, that's to me what matters.
Being on the same page.
Being on the same page.
Going forward.
Yeah. And, you know, we've got friends who are gay who've got a child, and he's great. Well adjusted, the whole bit. No problems. Ellie, I can't think of a good question, but she wanted to say hello. Hello!
Hi, Ellie.
Dale, and she's just saying hello too.
Hello.
We make her smile on Saturday. She may not be smiling until Sunday today because it's going to take a bit longer for me to get this up. Okay. Martha? Hello to you both, she said. Now, Martha, you know that I'm so not going to answer this question because she has said, if an American wanted to move to Australia, how do you go about it? Links to sites with legitimate information, requirements, etc. for moving there. Have a great weekend. Well, I don't know. You're going to have to look it up. I haven't got time to kind of do it while I'm making the video.
Well, you would just Google immigration.
Would you?
Yeah. Google immigration and find out.
Have we sold it that well?
It's the same as if we want to come to America.
Yeah. There's all sorts of technical things. I don't know if it's that easy.
Not an expert in that field, but just Google...
fall in love with an Australian and marry him.
Or permanent residency. Google permanent residency in Australia and the government site will come up and it should have all the requirements there.
Oh, you're a wealth of information.
Permanent residency.
Do you want to check if the video's still on?
Yeah, right.
Seeing as it just cut off. Angus Magrutha. Angus Magrutha. Do you think he's Scottish? What are you doing?
Still working. I'm just looking at how good you look.
Oh. He's standing there like going like this as if you can't work it out.
You actually look quite good from this side of the camera.
Isn't he lovely? Are you a fan of Magda Savansky? Have you met her? How brave was it that she came out public this week on TV? Okay, everyone, for those of you who do not know Magda Savansky, she is a girl who is a comedian and a fabulous actress and very well loved in Australia.
Probably one of the most popular personalities in Australia.
Yeah. I think she is.
She is right.
Anyway,
she's
this
very
week,
funny.
do you know what? I've never thought about whether she's gay or not. I just haven't thought. I've never seen her with a man, never seen her with a woman, so it's just not even entered my head.
Yeah.
What does she do? I don't know. Anyway, so she announced this week that she was gay. And it was great. She announced it on a TV show. She got quite emotional, actually. It was great. Good for her. And I have met her, and she was super duper nice.
And Magda, in her style, actually delivered it in a very comical way.
Yeah.
And I've seen the repeats of it, and I just laughed. And I thought it was good.
No, good for her.
And you know what? Today it's the hot news, and tomorrow it'll be the fish and chip wrappers. And
she said she'd never really denied it. It's just that she'd never said it out loud publicly. Like, she'd never she'd never hidden it.
Yeah.
She just hadn't declared it as such.
No, it's...
She had some drinks with her mum afterwards, so I think that was a really nice sign that the whole family accepts it. Anna, did you go through that rebellious stage with either of the kids?
No.
And if so, how did you handle it? If not, what is your secret?
The kids... it's simple. Okay. If you point at the kids or tell the kids or demand to the kids, this is what you'll do, I'll tell you you're dreaming. Because... if you say to them black,
we do a little
they'll
bit.
say what? No, we have boundaries, and they know our kids know the boundaries.
Yeah, we do tell them what to do. We don't just go, you can do what you want, get home when you want, all that stuff.
They know what's acceptable and what's unacceptable.
When they go out at night, I have a time, not for Max anymore because he's 19.
And there was another one, like when you leave the house, take your key, because I'm not going to be driving back to let you back in when you come home. And Zoe sometimes forgets that. But that's all minor. Talking about things like boyfriends, drugs, relationships,
we've always
school,
talked about
careers, friends, fun, and all that sort of stuff. I try to say to Zoe, because you know what, I was Zoe's age once, and I was doing exactly the same things that she was doing, but she doesn't know that, and I say that to her.
She does now.
Yeah, but I say, because so Zoe asked me a question, so I try and answer it for her, and I try and mentor her. And what I say to her is that if I can teach her by learning from the mistakes that I made, and she doesn't make the same mistakes, how much smarter will she be? So she asked me a question. She said, I really like this boy.
Do you think she learnt from that car?
She really liked, she bought it. She really liked this boy, and she asked me, I won't even go into that one.
Yeah, we won't go into that one. She'll kill him.
I won't even go into that one, but let me tell you, they are very accepting of the advice when the advice is delivered. The advice and the message is delivered in a format that I'm not dictating to her.
Yeah.
And I've said to her on many things, I said, look, you've got to make your own decision. I can't tell you what to do.
And we've also done lots and lots and lots of stuff.
We spend time together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We take them on holidays all the time.
We don't
do stuff with them on the
We
weekends, go
don't
out for dinner, we have
exclude
family
them.
barbecues. No, we don't
They
exclude them.
are included, and they've
In
learned
everything.
social graces, and they're comfortable talking
Yeah.
to people, and
Yeah.
they're not intimidated. They don't hang their heads.
We
in
have
the
dinners together every night, blah,
Well,
blah.
Zoe said the other night, Max doesn't want to drink. He said, not interested, Dad. Well, he's on P plates and not allowed to have any alcohol when you
Driving,
drive, so
yeah.
that's a big, the kids just
Got a lot
don't
of
drink and
questions,
drive.
come on.
So anyway, Zoe said she doesn't like getting plastered because she's doesn't like the way it makes her feel.
Well, she's never been plastered.
And she's very keen on her physique and body because she's a rower and she likes to stay physically fit.
How fun are these glasses? Yeah, she. Yeah, she doesn't.
Anyway, you know what?
she's
They
never drunk
haven't
a lot.
rebelled. She talks to me about drugs. She talks to me about alcohol.
Yeah.
She seems to understand, and it's because we've really discussed it and it's open and it's not taboo. You know, we'll talk about the subject.
It's natural.
Oh, go to. That's what I like about you, Ozzy. don't ride
So
kangaroos
that's
to
it,
school.
Anna. Yeah. Can you tell that we've watched our Oprah
Come on,
thing
come
about
on.
5 million
Come
times
on.
that we can quote from it? Angus, one more question. Do you think Australian TV really reflects our cultural diversity like many shows from the US? See, in the US, they have to, it's like with jobs, they have to have a certain amount of people that are black, that are this, that are that. It's all very politically correct in the States. So maybe it doesn't reflect that as much. Some recent articles have been talking about how Australia tends to cast mostly white actors with the odd token ethnic or minority character. Yes, that's true. But you know what, Angus? The fact of the matter is that we don't have as many black people in Australia as America does.
Don't know.
Do we?
Don't know. Well, you've got 306 million. We've got 23
Yeah, that's
million,
true.
and I don't know.
But we
the levels.
definitely have like a huge ethnic diversity when there's Greeks, Asians, Indians,
Italians,
everything.
Yugoslav,
So
everything.
I feel like it's covered.
This is the second largest Greek population outside Athens.
Yeah. Admittedly, like the people who host the shows are all
Do you know
like Australian.
We don't
white.
know. We don't know. You can't
Yeah.
answer it with any certainty. Next question.
I don't know. I guess
We don't
because
have the
I just
answer.
think we're all the same. I couldn't care less if someone's black or white on the TV. It doesn't. I don't find it insulting either way.
Yeah.
I think the best person who does the job should get the job,
Yeah.
not because they're black or white or whatever. That's what I think.
Gay or heterosexual.
Tarkin,
Greek
at
or
what
Italian.
point should one give up on a dream? This will be Paul's question. You wanted to become a doctor. You tried a couple
Keep
of
going,
times.
Keep going. Didn't try.
What changed? Well, he said Paul tried twice to become a doctor, then changed his game plan to business. Why after 2 tries? So you had 1
Okay.
try.
Well, I repeated final year school and I buggered up the chemistry exam because I wrote a 45 mark essay on the metal halides, not the metal hydrides, and I missed out by a couple of points. So, having said that, it was my second interest, I suppose, that I wanted to be in business and I wanted to run my own business, and so I mentally had shut the door down because I didn't want to repeat final year school for a third time.
And were you
I don't know.
heartbroken or anything, or had you just moved on?
Do you know what? Probably at the time, but don't even think about it now.
Oh, I
you
was
know,
going to say, do
time.
you have any thoughts of that? Okay.
No, I mean...
He does, mind you, because he grew up in a medical family, because Paul's dad's a doctor. Paul is very actually knowledgeable. It's almost like he is a doctor because he comes out with all this stuff. The whole family is, Paul's brothers are the same.
Well-
aren't they? Because your dad's talked about it with you so
Well,
much.
that was the lingo, around the dinner table.
Yeah.
That was the lingo. So,
Ours will just know about YouTube and Facebook and real estate.
yeah, that's right.
Jewelry.
Look, the answer to the question, I let it go. And
What do you think the tipping point is or should be?
Well, reality for me was that to get in and do another year, I wasn't going to do.
Yeah.
So that was that. So that was my tipping point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? Having now moved into real estate, there's been lots of tipping points on that, and I've just stuck to it for 32 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone has times where they hate what they do or love what they do,
Yeah.
don't they? Don't
Yeah.
you?
But what the other thing that I have learned, I'm still learning,
Yeah.
that so long as you get up in the morning and you've got a burning desire to achieve or do something, it makes it a lot easier. It's when you get distracted or you lose interest or you become
Lose
disinterested.
your mojo.
Yeah, that's what makes it hard. I think when you've got a project on or you've got something to do, like you want to get up and you want to get
Yeah.
moving. Even when things are difficult, you want to solve something. If you're focused on that, that's what keeps you going.
I can't wait. I've got this whole new thing. I'm not going to tell everyone yet until I do it, but all this jewellery stuff that I've got at the moment about to happen, I've got all these millions of ideas in my
Next
head.
question.
I can't wait to do it. I'm just waiting on something to arrive. Okay. Harley said, "Hi Megan and Paul, happy Saturday. What would be your best advice for someone who's finished school but has no idea what job or what they want to do with their life?" I would say
First thing is don't do nothing.
Yes.
Because
I agree with that.
You get used to doing things. So if you start working really hard, you get used to working hard and you get into routine.
Yeah.
That's normal. If you
Don't do some retail
nothing
work.
and you sit and do nothing, then you'll get used to that too, and that's a problem. So I think you need to expose yourself in as many areas as you think you might have
Yes.
interest. So you go and try this job and that
Go
job
and work at a bar or a
for
restaurant.
a reasonable amount
Everyone
of
should
time,
wait
and
tables.
then you'll say, yeah, I really like that, and I want to
Yeah.
progress that further, or that
Yeah.
is absolutely not me.
Yeah.
And it might be, for instance, car sales, real estate sales,
Yeah.
waitering, working in retail, labouring on a construction job. You might want to do
Yeah,
a
try
trade like
everything. Try lots
carpentry,
of stuff.
plumbing, building. You might want to go into construction building.
Yeah.
You know, there's a whole lot of areas like that you may want to
Yeah,
go
I
into.
agree.
And so the answer is dabble in what you think
Yeah,
you
but
like
get lots of
and
jobs and
try
get some
it.
money in the door.
Yeah,
You know,
try
start
it.
saving up
That's right.
and saving some money.
Improve your self-worth.
Yeah, I used to waitress. I used to teach aerobics. I used to work retail, and I was at uni. I did lots
I
of things.
worked-
I always had like 5 jobs.
I worked in retail. I worked in pubs.
Yeah, me too.
You know, pulling beers. I worked in maintenance. I did mowed lawns. I worked in Herbert Adams'
Yeah.
meat pie factory,
Yeah,
making sausage rolls and party pies as a kid.
that was his secret goal, to be a meat pie maker.
Oh, that was a killer, that one. That was a
You
killer.
can't eat a meat pie to this
No,
day.
I knew that I didn't want a
You
career.
saw what was in them.
I didn't want a career at Herbert Adams. I worked that out when I was 14.
Carmel. Hi Megan and Paul, hope you're both fantastic. My question is, do you think people can change for the better? Who can say if I've been changed for the better?
You know what? It's something you got to work on. Some people have.
The good old saying, a leopard never changes its spot, seems
Yeah.
to be so true with certain people.
Some people have an unfortunate disposition and they are miserable, unhappy, and it wouldn't matter what you said or what you did, they always look at the negative side of everything. And here,
I'd like to think people can change,
do
but
you
I
know
don't
what?
know. Not unless you
I
know.
reckon you are spot on. Leopards don't change their spots. I think some people who were on the borderline, or they had the desire to want to change because they didn't like how they were, and they started focusing on their change. But if they're not even aware of how they are and what they do, no.
Here's my thoughts on that. My thoughts are that people who are doing icky stuff and who are negative are not living in the present moment. And I think they are not experiencing life as we're supposed to experience it. I think that when you're present and you notice stuff like I said, I want these yellow glasses fun, or look at the beautiful roses outside, that sort of stuff. I know it sounds ridiculous and corny and all that sort of thing, but I'm telling you right now that that makes a huge difference because you are in the moment. Like, I just looked across there and I thought, oh, I love that orange room around my computer. Like, I'm thinking those things all the time, but it's not that I... That's from Max's girlfriend, Alex. I love that. That was such a thoughtful present. But the thing is, you have to notice things, and you have to, you know, someone says, oh, you look nice today, well, thank you, and then that's nice, you know. Don't you agree?
It's
You've got to live
almost
in the
like
present moment.
almost like you're born, and your brain is pre-programmed, and then you have your social surroundings. You know, gee, I don't think some people will ever change.
Yeah, unless they want to.
They've got to have the burning desire to want to change.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder
Next.
why you've asked that. I want to know. Can you tell me under the video? I want to know, Carl, why you asked that. Is there someone in your life you want to change, or do you want to change? I want to know. That's my question back. Linda, I am going to resubmit the following awkward question of the day.
Linda's on the 100-day challenge.
I'm going to read this because it's so sweet. With you and Paul being such attractive individuals, I think that's so lovely. Thanks, Linda. That's really nice. And so socially active.
Megan doesn't think she is.
Have either of you ever been hit on by a person of the opposite or the same sex? I have had a girl once.
Anyway, go on. What's the question?
And if so, how did you handle the situation diplomatically?
Megan and I talked about this the other day, and we don't really get hit on. And the reason why I think that is...
What is that?
No, the reason... but we don't go looking for it.
No, we don't.
We're not out at nightclubs late at night and in single bars and in those sort of arenas.
No.
I mean, Meg and I, we spend time with the kids. We go skiing on holidays.
Yeah. And if
we
I'm
go
out
to dinner.
doing
We
my
go to
social
dinner.
stuff, I'm there taking pictures and
We
sort
go
of...
out to dinner and we're together.
Half the people I meet are gay anyway, huh?
Yeah,
They're
but
not
we...
going to make a hit on me.
I guess the answer is we don't go looking for it. So
Yeah.
we don't really put it out there.
Should I share just a little story without naming names? Just one story.
Yes.
Are you going to check if we're filming?
Well, can't let this
I
one
did
go.
have... Okay, here's a story. And everything's going to be completely, like, anonymous.
So the camera stopped and we were just telling Linda that we're not out there and we're not looking, but there is a funny story that Megan will tell.
Okay, so as I think I just said, I'm not sure where it cut off, but this is so anonymous it's not even funny. I'm not saying where, how, what, anything. But I do have to tell this story because it is probably the only one I've had. Okay, so I was working for,
Previous employee.
Yep, and
This
I was married.
This guy incidentally would have been maybe 55 and Megan would have been 35. Go on.
Or 30.
Yeah, go
30 probably. Okay, so we went to Sydney and I really liked this man, like I really did. I used to ring him up and say hi, all that sort of stuff, and I was probably, looking back, too friendly.
He'd misinterpreted completely Megan's friendliness for something else.
Yeah, and it was so not like that. Anyway, so we went to Sydney one day and we'd been out for dinner and we'd had a really successful day and we're sitting on the corner of a table, so that's him there and that's me. And so he was this close like this, right? And he leaned in and he goes... Oh, just about. So he goes, I really, really, really like you. Look at me properly. Look, he goes, I really, really, really like you.
Was he?
And I think you're really, really, really nice.
Was he invading your personal space?
He was so close, everyone, that I honest to God thought he was going to kiss me. Paul's phone's ringing. I honestly thought he was going to kiss me, and I nearly, like seriously, it was so embarrassing, and I nearly had a heart attack. So I quickly sort of said, oh my God. So he goes, oh, I really, really like you. I think you're really, really nice. And I lean back and I go, I know, hasn't it been a fantastic day today? What a successful day. So I had to kind of floss over it because it was so embarrassing. And I don't know, and I didn't want him to feel awkward because I liked him and you know, he was older. I mean, he was married and everything. Anyway, so I fluffed over that and then the whole relationship changed. So then he would not, I don't want to give everything away, but I ended up leaving that company because he no longer wanted to help me progress. Let's just say that. So it was really awkward because, you know, what do you do in situations like that? I liked him, but not like that. I was married, had little kids. You know, I'd even had him over for dinner with his wife and fruit. Anyway, it was so unexpected. So it'd be very funny if he was watching this. I don't think he would be. But anyway, so I never told, when I left the company, I never said, you know, this is what happened and this is why I'm leaving. But many, many years later, after a few drinks, I was at the races and I bumped into the people who used to employ me and I told them the story and they go, well, that doesn't surprise us. I'm like, are you serious? So I didn't want to say anything because it was so inconsequential and so nothing. And I didn't want to embarrass him or anything, even though it hurt me to leave. Like, seriously, I didn't want to. It wasn't my choice. So that's what happened. So there you are, Linda. That is my one and only experience. I've never had, like, you know, someone super exciting make a move. Have you, Paul?
Oh, I don't really want to talk about it anymore.
You haven't? Don't make it sound like you have. Have you?
You know, it's a daily occurrence. You know, I'm out and about valuing houses for women and matrimonial purposes. I'm a real estate agent.
Have you had anyone make a serious hit on you since we've been married?
Might have.
Have you?
What?
I told mine.
Yeah, yes.
Who?
I can't even remember, you know.
And what did you say? How did you get rid of them?
Same as you. I'm not even interested.
You can't even remember.
Oh, it happens, you know, coffee shops and things like that. You know?
Oh, there was a really cute story actually in America. This is a few years ago. And Paul was getting a coffee and there was some young girl who was eyeing Paul off. And Zoe was with him and Paul was in the line and Zoe was sitting at the table and she could see this girl kind of chatting.
Well, she was just chatting to me and she was really nice. And I was just chatting back and I was really nice.
So tell them what Zoe did.
Zoe got the Marbo, the vibe, and moved straight in, right up behind and said, hey, Dad, what sort of coffee do you think we'll get Mum? And Zoe looked at me and
Good girl, Zoe.
because Zoe just gets it. But anyway, what's the next question?
I love that. I love that she did that.
Anyway,
So yes, Paul gets hit on now, I've heard.
it's to be expected.
It's a daily thing, is
It's
it?
to be expected.
Daily for you?
Yeah.
Maybe it is for me too. Oh no, it's just going to change my whole thing and now you change yours. All right. Christina said it's so nice to read that everyone is okay with homosexuality, but unfortunately in the real world there is still hatred.
Do you know what?
Still with black and white.
There's
as
still
well.
disagreements on body corporates, owners corporation. There's still disagreements in parent, teacher, and school. But PTA. There's still disagreement in
She's
the government.
saying Christina's gay, and
Yeah.
she's saying that people at work become really awkward when I tell them, well, that's their thing. You know what?
Yeah.
That's their. Don't worry about it.
You are never going to get 100% of people.
Intolerance is
swinging
still
the
rife
same-
in our society. I wish
Yes,
I
it is.
encountered people like you in my life. I'm proud of Magda, but understand her fear. I
You know
still
what?
get treated
But
differently. I can imagine.
It's
I can
heading.
imagine that.
It's heading in the right direction. It's now, heading down into acceptance and openness.
Yeah.
It's not heading the other way. So that
And she goes, it's the generation that can't handle it. It's funny because a friend of mine has been getting some tattoos of late, and I said to her the other day, because she's had like a whole arm done like that, right? And she loves it, and it's actually really beautifully done. And I said to her, do people treat you differently? Because I'm always interested in that sort of thing. And she said, yes, some people are treating you differently. And then,
differently better or worse?
no, worse. But then other people run up, people who are into tattoos run up and go, oh my God, I want to have a look at your tattoo. So it's tricky. Anyway, so
Unavoidable?
it's unavoidable.
Unavoidable.
But it's life that when you do different things, people are going to judge you. People judge me for making YouTube videos. People, they just do. People judge people for everything.
Next question.
So
It's just how
if
it
it
is.
makes you happy, these tattoos make my friend happy. I wouldn't want them myself, but they make her happy. I don't feel any differently about her. I was just curious as to whether other people were different.
What's the next question?
You just brushed me off.
No. You will never solve that. It's just how people are.
Karen, have you ever experienced personal
Is this
barriers?
Karen- is this Karen
This is
W?
our Karen.
Is this Karen?
Yes.
Karen W?
Fun Karen.
Yes.
Hey, well, let's do a look to each other. No, she likes it when we go, yeah.
So what about this one?
No, she would have liked it when you did the card and I went like that. That would have been her favourite look for the whole video. Am I right? You tell me. Okay. Have you ever experienced personal barriers during the pursuit of bettering/advancing yourself, such as opposition from people who might not want you to succeed? Yes, of course.
Every day.
And if so, how do you handle it? I know this is so stupid and you've heard it before, but I did have it when I first started making YouTube videos and I still do. If you want to go and check out how I felt with that, there's a video called Friends, Please Watch This. And it explained a situation that happened to me and I was... sometimes it really is sad because I do have people in real life who struggle with it and seem to think I'm doing something wildly outlandish doing these videos that are happy. I don't know.
In the television industry, in the movie industry, in the real estate industry, everyone in the tennis, sporting,
Yeah.
everyone's gunning for number one. And sometimes if you're heading into number one position, you're there and you're stopping someone else from being.
Don't let
number one,
anyone
and they-
bring you down.
And
It's their issue.
Yep.
I really think that.
Every day. And I think if you listened to what they had to say and you took it too seriously.
Oh my God, I would have
It'd-
packed
it'd
up
be-
and you wouldn't see me
Well, it's
online
like
ever
watching,
again if
it's
I
like
listened to
watching the
everyone.
news every day or reading the newspapers. Take what you want out of it and move forward. And
Yeah.
the people that criticise you are the ones that flatline and end up falling by the wayside and go nowhere because it makes them feel better by criticising
Yeah,
you.
it makes them feel better.
Makes
to put
them
you
feel
down.
bigger to put you down. And you know what? The
I
hardest
get
thing.
that a little bit on Facebook comments. I noticed this week there's this one person who writes these really sarcastic things and I can't kind of work out if that's her sense of humour, whether she's, I don't know.
Oh, well, you work it out.
I find it intriguing what people say.
We've got to go. What's
We
the
do
next
nearly
one?
have to go. Annie said, in your personal and work life, it could be different. Do you regularly give yourself new goals to achieve and follow? Yeah, fitness challenge. Yeah, we do. You do. I'm trying to beat my personal best mile, as I said before. Okay, so do you regularly give yourself new goals, or are you more go with the flow?
No, definitely not go with the flow.
And what do you suggest? I'm go with the flow. I set myself goals and I...
With a greater purpose.
Yes.
With a greater purpose.
I don't just
always.
go, oh, well, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, I make my life happen. I don't get backstage to do all those amazing videos and get onto red carpets and do those things by some miraculous envelope coming to my house.
The answer is definitely, like, I don't write things down. I when I go to bed, I think about them and I premeditate.
Yeah, he's very good like that.
And yes, so yeah, I do. I set goals. I set goals physically, you know,
What
things
do
we
you
want to do
suggest
with
for
the
someone
family.
who has a hard time staying motivated until the goal has been reached? Enjoy the journey. Because sometimes when you get to that
not
end
as good.
result...
Yeah,
it's-
when you get there and you go,
well,
that's a bit of an
get there and you go,
anticlimax.
"Oh, I'm there, what's next?" Well, in fact, I made a video with John...
Technology.
Oh my God, to try and get these videos in sync for
But,
you guys,
you know,
now we have to stop and start.
Well, you know, the answer to this question is you've got to have a reason to get out of bed and purpose in the morning to get going, and that is what is a motivating thing. Like if you've worked out that by the end of today and by the end of this week you want to do this and have this done and this is where you're going to go, then you're stimulated. It's like finishing a book that you like, or you know, so you've got to have a purpose, and if you've got purpose, you'll be right. Now you said Josh Warner.
Josh Horner. Josh is a judge in Australia on Dancing with the Stars. He's also one of the leads in a chorus line right now. He came for Taco Night this week. We made a great video and he was telling me about how he started and how he was on Broadway and how he's suffered people, you know, is trying to cut him down. And it's a really interesting video because in Australia, he made this one comment to a girl on Dancing with the Stars when he first started, and he said, "Oh, you look like a bedazzled sack of potatoes," in that thing, because she'd done this like thing. Anyway, he was really slammed for that. And look, admittedly, it wasn't the nicest of comments, but there was also another comment said by someone else on that same night. Everything got blown out. So he's now considered the meme judge. He's not actually like that in real life at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. And he talks on my video about how he feels about that perception about him. It's really interesting. Go and watch it. It's not as long as this one. But he's really nice, isn't he? He's great. I love him.
But the question was, how
Hope
do
he
you
comes
stay
to tacos
motivated?
again.
Make sure you're focused on your purpose and that you've got a reason to do something, and it tends to sharpen you up and want to get you moving.
Okay, that's it. There's this guy, Adam, who keeps writing sort of just comments, but I don't think they're actually questions. I think he's just kind of...
Hi, Adam. Are you enjoying doing the comments? Because we love them coming through.
And there's these links to go and look at different stuff. Anyway.
Do you know what?
Hello.
We're off. See you later.
Bye, everybody. Have a happy week. Paul's thinking he's Michael Jackson or a young talent time child, one of the two. That wasn't as good as the last one. Do it again.
Hang on.
Can we have, one of those crutch grabs that he does, like... Great for the 60th birthday party.